Hello, welcome to my living room. This is my living room. Today we're gonna do some more observational drawing. On Monday we did the carriage house, or you maybe drew your house or some piece of your house or a tree house or whatever. Today we're gonna do some drawing from inside our homes. Since we have all been stuck at home forever, it feels like some days, I thought it would be really cool to draw or paint what you're seeing out your window. Since we're doing a lot of looking out from inside, I thought that would be really neat to share that with each other. So I chose a window in my living room. And I'll show you. It's kind of tricky because it's bright outside. It's brighter outside than inside because of the sun, and so it's a little tricky for you to see me and what's out the window at the same time because the camera has to kind of focus on one or the other. So I'll kind of go back and forth. It's going to be a little wacky. And then I am going to use, for materials, I'm going to use a piece of paper. I have this this is a little bit thicker. It's like cardstock, a little thicker than regular computer paper. And I'm going to use some fine tipped Sharpies. Let me grab a handful to show you. You could use whatever you want. You could use markers, colored pencils, crayons, just a pencil, watercolor, anything. I'm going to do this one in a little bit of a different style. I'm going to try to make it a little more, not quite abstract, but kind of like pop arty, by using a bunch of different bright colors. And then I am going to also, this is a trick I'm going to use. I'm going to use some blue painter's tape to mark off on my paper the shape of my window frame so that I get some clean lines on the outside just for that part. This will work if you have some thicker paper. If it's thin like computer paper, don't use the tape because it might rip your paper, and I don't want you to rip your paper. Okay, so grab your materials. While you're grabbing your materials, I'll just do a quick little pan over here so you can see what's on the other side of the camera. A giant mess. And this box of blocks on top of a chair with a pile of markers is what my camera is on today. We're just doing our best. Every day, doing our best. Okay, so, all right, already you can kind of see that the camera's trying to focus on the window instead of me, so I'm gonna let it. Let me straighten it out a little bit. So you can see out my window, I have a neighbor's house, a big white house, and with a pointy, this is kind of hard to line up, a pointy roof, and a big green tree up here. You can also see my Randolph sign up there. I think I'm gonna pretend that's not there, just to make it easier to draw what's on the outside. So my first step is to tape my my paper, and I'm going to bring this back to me a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to tape here. It's a little crooked. I'm going to fix it, but if it's crooked and you don't care, then leave it, let it be. I'm gonna do, okay, so you can kind of see if I hold it up here. Just to have a nice clean outline for that window. This is easy to do. You can also just do, use a ruler, of course, that works too. That works great. But this will make it go a little faster for me for the video. So you're not watching me measure everything out. The paper's crooked, not the tape. Tape might be crooked too, but that's okay. So there's my window frame. I'm gonna start by using a thicker black Sharpie to just outline like using this as a stencil to outline the frame of the window. And it kind of works, you can kind of press up against the edge of the tape to guide you. And I am using this drawing board again just because it's easier to show you. You can of course just hold it on a table or on a book in your lap or whatever. Okay, so there's my frame, my window frame. You can kind of see it. My window frames do not have any trim yet because that is one of the many projects, ongoing projects at my house. I am going to draw this line that's in the middle of the window that is like, this is one pane of glass and that's one pane of glass. And the little lock on top, I think you maybe can't see that. This little thing bumping out here is the lock. Okay, so I'm going to just draw that right across the middle. And because I'm not using a ruler or taping this, it's not perfect, and that's fine with me. Okay, so there's my lock right in the middle. And then I am going to just start drawing what I see outside. So let me focus you back on that for a sec while I get my tools. And I'm going to do this, so obviously, well, I think obviously you can see that the house is white, but I am not going to draw it with, I'm not going to do just a black line. I am going to draw the lines of the house with some of my different colored skinny Sharpies, just to give it something, a little pop. So I'm going to draw each line with a different color. That's my plan. And of course, if you want to do this exactly how you see it, awesome, do that. It's totally up to you, whatever style you want. So when I look at this house, I can see the, I'm going to kind of, my perspective is different than yours because I'm sitting over here and the camera's over here. But I'm going to try to draw it like what I can see the camera is showing. But backwards. If that make kind of, well, no, not backwards. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to go for it. So I have, over here, I have the house. It goes kind of up to that line for me. And again, I'm doing like all different colors, so it's gonna, you're gonna have to bear with me as I trade colors. And then the other line of the roof. And then that roof has kind of a, what do you call it, a soffit, kind of like a separate piece. So I'm going to do these two lines in the same color and then okay. So here's my roof. Can you see that? Yes. And then I'm going to draw the rest, like the lines coming down for the wall. I guess you guys cannot really see the sides of the building, but I can see one side of the building, so I'm going to go ahead and draw that. And you can see this side too. So I'm going to draw that one. It's a little tricky looking out the window and looking at what the camera is seeing because I'm seeing two different things, but that's okay. And then for the tree, I'm going to draw it as just kind of a big, kind of blobby shape. So it comes, I can see it comes from up above this middle line, pretty high up, and it goes over the top of the house and then back around and down. So I'm going to draw that sort of shape. I'm gonna break the line at the middle point because it's behind that line. And then it kind of goes all the way around here. So there's my green tree. I'm also gonna do, there's some green that you cannot really see from your perspective, but there's some green on the other side of the house back here. So I'm gonna add that green blob, and then I'm gonna add the windows too. I'm gonna do each of them just in one color. I'm not gonna do one for each line on those. So I've got the top window, and then there's a window over here. And then you can kind of see this, this little part of the house that juts out. I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to do the little roof that's on top of that, and then the 3 windows. You see this? I'm trying to make it so you can see, but it's a little tricky. Let's see. And then I'm also going to do, they have some like satellite dishes over there. I'm going to draw those on because those are kind of a big feature in this picture, in this perspective. And there are some wires coming down from those. Looks like they kind of, they meet right under the satellite dishes and then go all the way down. Okay. So you can see this is like roughly what I'm seeing on my window, but looks different. Oh, I forgot. There's also a little chimney up there. I'll add that one in. Which is a marker that does not work very well. And then that's kind of what I can see out of my window, what it looks like from my perspective. I might also add in some lines. So I'm going to add some different, I'm going to use some lines to make the coloring in part. I'm going to try this just so that you can see it a little better. So for the sky, I'm going to make some straight lines to fill in. Like this is me coloring in the sky blue. So I'm just going to do this all the way across. I'm just stopping at that tree shape. Some of my lines are getting a little squiggly. That's okay, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so there's my blue sky. I'm going to do a similar move, let me make sure this works, with the trees, but at a different angle. You see that? Just to kind of break it up so that you can tell it's something different. So I'm just kind of filling, instead of coloring the whole thing in, this is kind of gives it, to me, kind of a pop arty feel, or graphic kind of feel. And then for this tree, I'm going to do the same, but going in the opposite direction. This is another spot where the tape comes in handy because I'm not worried about going over the edge. I just let my my marker go until I kind of hit the tape. And I'm remembering to stop at the at this middle brace piece and then continue those lines on the other side, which can be a little tricky. And then I think I'm going to leave my house just kind of blank for now. And I might fill in this zone down here. But there we go. And I'll share the finished drawing in the newsletter today. I might also, after I take my tape off, well, I can go ahead and take it off. After I take it off, I'm gonna add a little more of the, like, what it looks like on the inside of my window. So some of the lines that are there. But I will share that with in the newsletter for the final reveal. But there we go. I can't wait to see what you've been seeing out your window and what style you choose to use. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye, friends.